I was really weak when I first started calisthenics over 15 years ago. Handstand push-ups may look impossible, but if I can do it, so can you. Let me show you step by step how to build your strength from complete beginner to handstand pro. We have to regress in order to progress. Using bands in calisthenics is like removing weight plates in the gym. After all, your body weight is the resistance, so offloading with bands makes sense. Assisted pike push-ups are a smart exercise because they allow you to use good technique, full range of motion, and getting quality volume in order to improve the skill of pike push-ups. Bands are really helpful because they match the strength curve difficulty. Pike push-ups are hardest at the bottom and easiest at the top. Best practice is using a band that makes it difficult to do 3 to 6 rep sets. It's important we choose the right difficulty so that our upper body does all the heavy lifting. Okay, training wheels off. Time to work the pike push-up in its natural state with just your body and a desire to improve. Your bucket list goal of mastering the handstand push-up starts with the floor pike push-up. No bands, just body weight. This is a great strength builder for handstand push-ups. You're not worried about balance, just grinding hard for stronger shoulders. When you've got barely any weight on the tippy toes, these can absolutely feel as heavy as doing wall handstand push-ups. Please don't look at the pike as some exercise that's just for beginners. It's truly an effective overhead press when done with intent. This is where calisthenics is different from gym exercises. If you're dumbbell overhead pressing 20 kilos, the intensity is clear. But when pushing around our body weight on pike push-ups, it's on us to keep intensity and intent clear, having the tension on the target muscles. Avoid the mistakes where your body is finding ways to make it easier by shifting weight back onto your legs, flaring the elbows out excessively, or turning the movement into a regular push-up. Don't let it. Correct technique is all about making the exercise feel as hard as possible. You want to try and make a tripod shape at the bottom with your head and hands in this orientation. Think about leaning forward during the descent. This is going to load your shoulders, upper chest, and triceps. If there's no challenge, the pike push-up, it won't change you. Simple as that. By making it genuinely hard for low reps, leaning into every pike push-up to the best of your ability, that's how you get the most out of bodyweight training and build up towards superhuman levels of strength. The deficit pike push-up uses a principle of progression in calisthenics, increasing range of motion to increase the intensity. Range of motion varies along a continuum for pike push-ups, from elevating the hands slightly on small parallettes all the way to high parallettes and even big boy boxes. Here are just a few examples of how you can progressively challenge your deficit pike push-up with a variety of equipment. Guys, listen up. The journey towards the full ROM pike push-up isn't going to be an overnight process. This is the equivalent of lifting heavier weights at the gym. The difference of just a few centimeters deeper on a pike push-ups is eye-opening. Honestly, a new deficit can feel like you're adding 5 to 10 kilos to the overhead press in terms of how heavy your body weight feels. But the feeling of progressing your pike push-up deeper and deeper is really gratifying. It's an awesome feeling. Congratulations if you've got this far, because you're now capable of something that would crush the calisthenics noob. So take a moment to celebrate your journey. Something I want you to understand is that during a floor pike push-up, you're only really doing a partial overhead press because the hands are getting to head height. Whereas when you're training at a deficit, it's actually full range of motion, just like you'd expect when lifting weights at the gym. With deficit pike push-ups, the long-term goal should be doing shoulder to bar reps. Once again, these are humbling. Despite us just doing a bodyweight push-up, more range of motion is no joke at all. Once you're able to smash out a solid 5x5 deficit pike push-up, you're ready for weighted calisthenics, my friend. So, you're finding pike push-ups too easy, but wall handstand push-ups too hard. This is a common problem for intermediate trainees. Weighted push-ups have entered the chat. These are how you bridge the gap between progressions. Taking your time and building strength patiently can't be stressed enough in calisthenics. You've got to spend a few months doing heavier pike push-ups, and that handstand push-up will be yours. This exercise shines because you've got that simplicity of just adding weights as a form of progression. This is when calisthenics gets really fun. Once the dip belt comes out, your relative strength is going to increase through the roof. Weighted pike push-ups have the same effect as Goku training in the hyperbolic time chamber. That extra weight added to your body is going to give you Super Saiyan strength. Loaded pike push-ups shine because they allow for objective increases in intensity. With the same technique and ROM, going from plus 2.5 to plus 5 kilos is the most clear sign that you're getting stronger at calisthenics. Adding weight is a reliable and repeatable way to enhance the pike push-up. compared to having to change your body posture and play with all of these different progressions. If you can do the hard work of reaching plus 10 kilo pike push-ups, you're going to feel as light as a feather when doing bodyweight exercises. The learning curve of handstand push-ups is going to be so much quicker once you've mastered the weighted pike push-up. Don't sleep on this exercise. The back-to-wall handstand push-up is an underrated progression for building overhead strength. Most high-level calisthenics athletes that you admire for those crisp, freestanding handstand push-ups have likely spent years with the wall. It's just not shown on social media. Guys, don't think that you're beyond the basics. Please get yourself up to doing 15 reps against the wall. Once you've built up this foundation level of strength, smashing out those real handstand push-ups is going to be a breeze. The advantage of the wall is it allows you to build up your strength without having to worry about balance. Because there's stability when training with a wall, you're not being limited by the skill of having to hold a handstand. So all you have to do is grind hard. The wall is really a smarter way to train because you can actually do more reps and more volume overall with this method. You'll notice that I'm using a bent leg technique. This uses the hamstrings to help curl yourself up, offloading some body weight. I like this way because it lowers the barrier to entry for handstand push-ups, allowing beginners to get started on their journey straight away. You're also tilting the pelvis into a posterior pelvic tilt, which prevents you from arching that lower back excessively. That foot on the wall is a major help when it comes to keeping your posture in place. It also ingrains good habits even when you begin to fatigue. Doing flared elbow handstand push-ups isn't bad, it just doesn't build specific strength, because when you try real handstand push-ups without a wall or 90-degree push-ups, the elbows are generally more tucked. For correct wall handstand push-ups, just think about how you're moving the upper body during pike push-ups. Head forward of the hands, tucked elbows. Do the same thing when you're training back to wall, and this is going to make the exercise much more effective. The pseudo planche push-up is a must for building up your pushing strength. These are just push-ups while maintaining a forward lean. The further your shoulders are in front of your hands, the more weight is going through your upper body. When done correctly, you should have the feeling like you're about to fall flat on your face because you've got barely any weight going through your legs. You might be thinking, okay, how does pseudo planche push-ups, a horizontal press, help with the handstand push-up, which is a vertical press? The PPP strengthens the same muscles which are used in handstand push-ups, your front delts, chest, and triceps. The bottom range also mimics the movement demands of a handstand push-up. You're training that shoulder extension, helping you build strength where most people get stuck. This exercise teaches full body bracing. You need to be mindful of keeping your core engaged, those abs tight and glutes squeezed as you're moving through space. The scapular gains are going to be noticeable. You'll get better at stabilizing your shoulders as you complete the movement, which is also an important part of successful handstand push-ups. A common complaint during pseudo planche push-ups is wrist pain and discomfort. To overcome this problem when you're leaning so far forward, simply turn the hands outwards or use parallel bars. This gives your joints some more breathing room so you can build those bolder shoulders pain-free. Fellas, the pseudo planche push-up is tough, but this exercise is really going to help skyrocket your pushing strength. Training your horizontal press is a great accessory for building up your vertical press handstand push-up. You're strengthening the relevant shoulder muscles through a more extended range of motion, which has a really nice transfer between exercises. Think about it like this. You wouldn't do only your pull-ups and neglect your rows. Don't do only your overhead press and skip your pseudo planche push-ups. There's 3 main benefits unique to the dumbbell overhead press that you should know. 1, it's joint and tendon friendly. That neutral grip OHP has those elbows tracking in the scapular plane. This feels much better for most people, and it's a really good option for decreasing pain and injury from happening. 2, increased ROM. You're able to lower those weights much deeper with dumbbells compared to using a barbell. This is helpful for hypertrophy in the delts, pecs, and tris. That greater stretch builds bigger muscles, which will have greater horsepower for strength when shown how. 3, decrease side-to-side weaknesses. When using dumbbells, each arm has to do equal work, preventing your dominant side from helping too much. This promotes symmetry, which is something that many of us struggle with on compound exercises. The key technique is tucking those elbows, and don't be surprised if you feel weaker doing this, because it's going to happen. The reason being is the tucked OHP has more front delts by comparison to a flared OHP, which uses more of the chest. It's all about building up specific strength. We're using that neutral neutral grip so we can train our press in more of the sagittal, forward to back plane of motion. This is key when it comes to deficit handstand push-ups because this is the exact same motion that we're doing during the overhead press. We're building up the strength so that we can do what we want to do. So you want to unlock handstand push-ups, huh? You've got to take your basics seriously to strengthen your upper body. Really, we've got to learn how to walk before we can run. And that starts with paying your dues with weighted push-ups. This is one of the most slept on exercises. Think about weighted push-ups as the bench press in bodyweight training. It's safe to say that most of you watching can bust out 20 plus push-ups without a problem. Now, although high reps are good for endurance, they're not so effective when it comes to building strength. That's why we need to use a dip belt and load things up. Weighted push-ups shine because they allow you to train horizontal pressing with lower rep ranges, biasing strength. The best practice is adding a weight which challenges you for 6 to 12 rep push-ups. I love this because it makes progressive overload clear-cut. Progressively add weight and your upper body is going to transform. The good news is this classic calisthenics exercise will remain productive, improving your strength long term so you can legitimately build up to that handstand push-up. You're going to find out really quickly that the weighted push-up is surprisingly difficult on the core and abs. Now imagine doing this exercise with extra weight trying to hold you down. You've got to work extra hard to keep your posture on point. Pressure builds diamond, my friend. Expect your core strength to level up after you're doing heavy push-up training. Being able to prevent the banana back is helpful when it comes to handstand push-ups. All of that hard work on your core training is going to pay off. The barbell military press is a perfect accessory for building up your handstand push-up. Thinking that you can just pike push-up your way to the handstand push-up is a common mistake. Unlike bodyweight exercises that are easy to cheat and hard to quantify from an intensity perspective, the military press won't let you down. When using a bench, it keeps your technique standardized. Your posture is in place. You can move the bar through the same range of motion every single time. Happy days. There's no squatting down, using leg drive, or arching the back, which can happen when standing OHP. You're benefiting from that added bracing from your back on the bench. This allows you to lock into the position and lift heavier weights. Besides, take this rare opportunity to sit down as you work out. It's not a luxury that you usually get with calisthenics. With the barbell OHP, our hands are fixed just like they are in a handstand push-up. This teaches you to grind hard, producing a ton of force, which is going to do your body good. Often the simple but hard approach is the best method, lifting heavy weights. There's nothing complicated about this. Everyone can do it. Everyone can track how much they're lifting and progressively overload their way to overhead strength. This right here is no gimmick. Please don't discount the old school lifts. You can't go wrong getting strong. Here's some strength standards for how much you should be able to lift on the military press. If you're not there yet, you've got work to do. Working up to 75% of your body weight for 5 reps is an achievable goal that everyone can reach. I can't tell you how many students I've had who want to learn handstand push-ups, but are honestly just too weak. They can't lift 40 kilos on the military press, and they wonder why they're plateauing. By just working towards a 75% body weight military press, you'll have plenty of absolute strength in your upper body, which will give you the raw materials to learn handstand push-ups. Okay, the chest to wall handstand push-up is truly one of the most effective exercises that you can do to build up your overhead strength and skill towards freestanding. Here's how. If we look at the body alignment and overall technique during the exercise, it definitely mimics the real thing. We're using the same movement mechanics. The torso angles forward, the feet and legs go behind the body. With chest to wall, it keeps you honest, it keeps your posture in place, it encourages that hollow body position, and you're less likely to banana back, which can happen in back to wall. We love using the wall for our handstand push-ups because it builds that pure overhead pressing strength without compromise. There's no balance, so you can refine your technique without being limited by skill. Specificity reigns supreme. Nothing builds up your handstand push-up like doing a comparable handstand push-up exercise. It's the best use of your time and energy. What's not spoken about with this exercise is how helpful it is for overcoming the fear of falling on your face. Being upside down, it's scary. It's a mental roadblock that many people have who are new to handstand push-ups, and it can really hold them back from making gains. Training with a wall is exposure therapy. It helps desensitize the fear of falling and conditions your mental grit which you're going to need for freestanding handstand push-ups. Our body is smart. It limits how much strength we can produce if it deems there being a threat. Wall training is all about teaching your brain this ain't nothing. You can handle this. That way, you can unleash your body's full force. Chest-to-wall handstand push-ups are the best test to see if you're ready for freestanding. If you can't do 5 reps against the wall, there is no way that you're going to be doing freestanding and just busting them out. You're going to be limited. Conversely, if you're able to smash out 10 plus handstand push-ups against the wall, you've got plenty of strength. The limitation in this case for your freestanding handstand push-ups is balance. You may need to work on your handstand hold and just the skill of handstand push-ups without a wall. Here's a bunch of useful regressions and progressions for the chest to wall handstand push-up. All right, legends, I've got a complete handstand workout that I've created just for you, taking you from handstand beginner. You can't even hold a handstand. You can't do handstand push-ups. Don't worry, I'm going to show you step by step how to unlock 60-second handstand, wall handstand push-ups, freestanding handstand push-ups. I'm here to help you. Check out FitnessFAQs.com for the complete program and level up today.